My next tip is solely personal preference. However, over the years of making crop tops and experimenting with different yarns, I've definitely noticed a difference based on which yarn you're using. So I did want to point that out for y'all. If you're wanting a cup to be more stiff and offer the most support possible, you're going to want to use a cotton that's stiff like Lily Sugar and Cream, Peaches and Cream, or Crafter's Secret, and that's what's going to give you this really stiff cup that holds its shape. However, if you use a softer cotton, like I love this cotton from Hobby Lobby, it's going to be a little bit more flimsy like this. But I do love both. I use both of these. It just depends on who I'm making it for and the pattern. If I'm making a top that's meant to be for a larger boobie lady like myself, I typically go with a stiffer cotton because this does offer more support. And if you do use a more soft cotton and your cup isn't holding its shape when it's flat, it's okay because it is going to still conform to your body when you put it on, and you're not going to be able to tell the difference visually by looking at it. It just comes down to the amount of support that you need. One thing I will tell you though, if you're following a pattern that was designed around a stiffer cotton like Lily Sugar and Cream, but you're using a softer cotton like I love this cotton, your gauge is going to be off. So you will have to add a few extra rows in order for the size to come out to the same size as the pattern you're following if you're using a soft cotton instead of a stiff cotton. Since I do enjoy using stiff and soft cotton brands, for this exact reason, I don't like to stick to a set amount of rows for each size because the amount of rows changes depending on the brand of worsted weight yarn that I use. So instead, the rule of thumb that I follow for sizing is that each inch you add to the width of your cup is going to size your top up by 1 size. Most crocheters don't offer half sizes for crop tops, so this won't apply to a lot of patterns since most patterns won't have half sizes. But for my own personal size chart, I also include half sizes. So if you go up ½ inch, it's also going to size up your top by a half size. An example of that would be a small is 6 inches wide, a small medium, half size, is 6½ inches wide, and so on. Most people can fit in 2 to 3 of these sizes, so the perfect fit really just comes down to your own personal preference on the amount of coverage or the amount of cleavage that you're wanting. But I'm going to put all of the sizes with their corresponding widths on the screen, so favorite this video and screenshot it, that way you don't lose it. Again, it does come down to personal preference since most people can fit in more than one size. However, if you're interested in my recommendations on which average bra sizes I feel like fit best in each of the sizes that I listed, I do have more information on that under the sizing page on my website.